Hey, what's up, my dudes? I'm Jaber, and welcome to the How to Rank Up series. In this edition, we're going to be talking about the rotations of 3v3 mostly. We're not going to be talking about the 2v2 or 1v1 rotations because 3v3s are usually the hardest to master, and so I figured we'd dive right into that. So I'm going to be breaking it into three major parts. Your first man, your second man, your third man. We all know what that is. And so basically, we're going to go over what your role is in each of those positions and how to rotate into the other positions smoothly without getting your teammates' way and without your teammates getting in your way. All while keeping up with the pace of play, having enough boost, and staying in the action so that you can react to whatever happens and be the rock your teammates need to win the game. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop right into it where we're talking about the first man first, so we're going to just increase in number from there. So let's hop right in. Alrighty, so for the rotations and the general awareness stuff, I went ahead and hopped into Paint real quick. And I've got the first, second, third man labeled. I've got the ball in the corner. We've just got a basic scenario of an in-game situation. And the red cards are orange team and the blue cards are blue team. So we're going to be talking about the first man in this situation and what your role is and how to rotate to your teammates' advantage and to your own advantage after you made your play. So while you're making your play, you basically have one job. Do as much with the ball as you can. And then you're done. So basically, force a play if you can't beat them to the ball, fake it, and then rotate it out. If you can beat them to the ball, try to beat them to the ball. If you have to challenge the ball, try to get as good of a challenge as you can, and then that's pretty much it. If you can pass the ball out, pass the ball out. But the first man's role is probably the easiest role in the entire game when you're on the ball. Now, the more mechanics you have, the better you'll be at first man, and the more flashy plays you'll be able to make. But basically, the role is the same no matter what your mechanics are. Make a play, get out. So after you've made your play, what you want to be doing is you want to be looking for, you're rotating in from the offensive side at least, and you want to look for a bump or a demo on the next guy. And obviously you don't want to get yourself thrown out of the play, you don't want to do anything like that, so don't go chasing for them in the net. My biggest tip is just drive along the goal line and see if you can pick one up, right? So once you've done that, or if you didn't do that because you're not as aggressive as I am, you like to play a little more safe, you want to get back, you don't trust your teammates as much as I do, then basically what your goal is to get boost in some form or fashion without getting out of the play a lot. And you'll see that as a very common theme is get boost without getting out of the play. And if you want to be able to do that really efficiently, you need to know some of the boost pad paths and some of the big boost pad paths that you can go through, the most efficient ones in whatever position you're playing. And if you want to learn more about that, I'm not going to go over it in this video, but I made a video the other day and you can go check it out, and it basically goes over every path you'll need in the entire game, and it's really helpful for every time you come off the ball and you need to rotate back and you don't have boost, and it really helps you a lot with whatever you need in the situation in game. So go check that out. It'll basically covers the entire first man role after you rotated, so I'm not going to go over first man a lot because it's really the simplest position in the entire game. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and hop over to the second man's position. But before we do, I want to just say if you're enjoying the video, if you like this kind of content, if you want to see more of it, go ahead and drop a like, comment, subscribe, anything helps. So with that said, let's just hop into the next one real quick. So as a second man, your role gets a lot more complicated than as a first man. So simply put, your role is to be waiting for a pass, hope you get a pass. If you don't, get ready for another one. So what I mean by that is, as a second man, you're going to be positioned in the middle of the field when your first man is in the corner over here. And you want to be looking for a positive pass to go infield somewhere, or if a pass that goes along the goal line. And when I say pass that goes along the goal line, there's a lot of things that go with that. And usually that means not going for it immediately, because typically a defender will be on the goal line waiting for that pass, and they'll block you. And if they're quick enough, and they're most likely as quick as you are to recognize it because y'all are at the same rank, then you'll end up just flying straight into the net, accomplishing nothing, except for you and your first man are now stuck on the enemy side, while your third man is all the way back here by himself, trying to make a play against 3 players all at once. And usually that'll end up in your opponent's scoring. So to avoid that, when a ball goes rolling over the goal, you want to be reactive. You don't want to be proactive in that situation. It's one of the rare situations where you don't want to be proactive. You want to wait to make sure there's nobody there. And if you know there's nobody there, obviously go for it. But if there is somebody there, your job is to creep up a little bit, wait to see if they miss it. If they miss it, go for it. If they don't miss it, rotate back around to see what your third man's going to do after he rotates in and makes his play. So rotations are really complicated. I'm really breaking it down really simply in this video so that you get the general roles and you'll understand it. And the positioning, you'll understand the basics of it, but really it comes with practice. So I'm just trying to break it down as simply as possible. And so, second man, wait for a pass. Hopefully you get one. If not, rotate back around, look for another play to happen, right? So then that's your offensive role. On defense, your role is the exact same. You're going to be reacting to whatever happens in the corner over here. You're the next guy to go for it. If the ball bounces out here, you go for it. If the ball bounces over here, you go for it. If it comes rolling over the net, you go for it. So your role is the same on both sides, no matter what. Whether you're on offense or defense, if you're first, second, or third man, your role stays the same, whether you're on either side of the field. Now, that's pretty much wraps it up for second man. Let's go ahead and hop into third man. Okay, so as a third man, your role is to cover the worst possible case scenario of a play that happens. So if the ball has the potential to, for example, pinch between these two guys and go flying down over here, your job is to be able to cover that no matter what. And if the ball has a potential your teammate wins it, but then the ball comes bouncing over here, your job is to be able to react and be back for defense when that happens, okay? And so basically, to win more games as third man, whenever you're in the third man position in the game, you want to be able to cover the worst possible scenario. And it doesn't matter what that is or how boring it is, it's what you need to cover. And I know that can be really boring, but as a third man, if you want to be good at it, you have to be patient and you have to be disciplined. And it's probably the hardest position in the entire game when you're in that spot. Because a lot of the times, your teammates will not care about you and they will leave you in a 1v3, and you'll have to shadow defend. You'll have to have all these different skills in your back pocket that you have to pull out to try to not get scored on when you're in those terrible situations. But basically, really simple. Cover the worst possible case scenario, and you'll be set. So I've covered the basic roles of each position, and so now I'm going to go into more of the general awareness kind of thing, and how you should rotate based on your teammates, and how you should position. So it's really, really simple, and I'm just going to go ahead and hop right into it real quick. Alrighty, so generally, your teammates will probably be in some sort of position like this, and how you know where you should rotate is you need to picture like zone coverage. Like if you've watched football or soccer or basketball, each player can cover a certain amount of space, and their teammates are spaced accordingly around them. And so how you can figure that in Rocket League is picture basically like a balloon on top of each of your teammates' cars, right? And the balloon will be different depending on how fast they're going, blah, 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 but you don't need to pay attention to that. So each player has a general coverage, right? And that's how much ground they can cover if the ball goes over there. So how you should position is you should position where your teammates aren't covering and where the ball could go. So essentially, in a play like this in the corner, we're putting you as the third man here, right? When the ball's in the corner like this, from playing the game, we know where the ball can go, right? The ball could go middle. Say your teammate's got that covered, the second man does. The ball could do something in the corner. Your first man's already doing that. But the ball could clear out this way, right? So if I'm positioned back here, I'm rotating back from wherever my car is right here, right? Where do I need to point my little balloon to stop the play if the ball does bounce out that way? And that's how you can assess where you need to go. So I would rotate around to where the car is positioned on the screen, and then my balloon would be right out here, and I'd be able to cover that. So that's really generally how you should position in Rocket League, is just point your car in the direction where the ball could end up, where your teammates aren't covering. So that's pretty much it for rotations. A lot of it will come with experience, and it requires a lot of practice to get good at them, and a lot of game sense and just playing the game. But I just went over most of the general basics, and that's pretty much all you can do in a video. You can't teach knowing what's going to happen. So yeah, that's probably going to wrap it up for this video. And so remember to drop a like, leave a comment, anything helps. If you want to see more content like this, subscribe. Remember to check out that boost video. That one is really, really important. You'll always have plenty of boost. It'll be in the description below. And so yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys.